Hey guys, Hayden here with a quick tutorial on finalizing your mix or edit for dance. Just an FYI, these tutorials are geared towards dancers to help you make your own dance mix or edit, so we're not getting into anything too comprehensive or technical. We're trying to keep these things short and simple so you can know exactly what you need to know to make your own dance mix or edit. So today we're in Adobe's Audition. We're going to show you how to finalize your mix, polish it up, add some master limiting, and of course export it and have it ready for rehearsal or performance. So let's just get right to it. So here I have Audition open. I have 2 songs imported. I've spliced them both to my liking and I've added fades to each cut. I've also added an explosion here, a sound effect just to transition from one song to the next. It makes it a little smoother and sound a lot better. So first thing I want to do is make sure that all of these tracks are at the proper volume levels. And we can do that by simply playing back our mix and just watching our meters here on our individual tracks as well as on our master track. Our master track is actually down here at the bottom. So what I want to do first is delete these unnecessary tracks that I don't want. So I can do this by right-clicking on the track itself. Don't right-click over here. It doesn't work that way. Right-click, go to track, and then delete empty tracks. If I do this, actually, this will do all of them, I believe. Yeah, there you go. And it'll leave my master track, which I want. And I want to be able to see this as well, because essentially what's happening is all 3 of these tracks are being sent to the master track. And this is kind of what we're hearing. So we can see this level as well. We want to make sure it's not too loud or too quiet. So let's go ahead and play this back. I'll just play this transition so we can see and just watch those levels for any clipping or distorting or anything like that. Okay, it looks good. So I do have a little bit of clipping in my first song here. This is actually normal in Audition. It does clip when it hits the limit of the minimum amount that the computer's allowed to give you. You can drop this down. I will, just for my sanity's sake. I hate seeing those little red clips. So there's that. If I want to make sure that nothing is clipping, like say for instance, I did have one that was a little louder here and this sound effect was maybe a little louder, my master track will clip. And if I want to keep that from clipping, I can actually add a limiter to my master output. And you may have seen us add limiters to our individual tracks previously in other tutorials. But in this case, we can add it to the master output. So that way, no matter how much we're pushing through it, it's going to keep it from distorting. And just a quick explanation of this is a computer is only allowed to push out so much energy or so much information. And this meter is just letting us know, hey, if this is going in the red, that means you're putting too much out. It's too hot, basically. There's too much going on, and it's going to sound bad and crappy and kind of distort. And to keep that from happening, we can limit this to say, hey, just don't go above that. Audio editors, in my opinion, should just do this automatically, but in some cases, maybe people want to distort it and, for a stylized thing or whatever. So anyway, the way that we can do this is simply going here to our inserts. If this isn't showing up here, simply come up to the effects button here, and that will pull those effects up. We're going to go to slot 2, and I'll explain why in a second, but then we'll go here to amplitude and compression and then find your hard limiter. Click that there. It's going to pull up this. Really, the only thing we need to do here is click true peak. If I do that, all the other settings are just fine. And I can click exit, and now it's all limited to just that minimum amount. So we're good there. And that's it. And that's all you really need to do to make sure everything's fine is check your levels and then add a limiter. One final touch I like to do is add an exciter. It's another effect that I like to add to my mixes. I'll explain why. Let me add it here first. So if I go to this first plugin here, I can go to Special and then Mastering. This is a little bit deceiving because this is the only place the exciter actually exists. You can see it here in the mastering effects. So what this is doing, I'll explain what this is. So most songs that you download from the internet or have on your computer, they're MP3 files usually. And these are compressed files actually. And what happens is when these songs get too compressed, and they can get too compressed by bouncing around from Dropbox to email to YouTube and different things, it'll actually lose some of the high sizzle and crispness to that song or mix. And what exciters do is it can bring that sizzle and energy back into your mix. It doesn't restore it exactly, but it regenerates some of those higher frequencies. Anyway, in layman's terms, it just sounds a little more energetic and crisp. So I'm just going to turn this up a little bit. Really 5 to 7% will do it. Don't overdo it on this because then it will sound like too crisp and kind of harsh to your ears. And that's it. And our mix is ready to export. So the way that we can export, the best way to do this is to, first of all, get our time selection tool here. And this is up here, time selection tool. And then I'm going to select the portion of the song or this mix that I want to export. If I need to zoom out, I can. Let's see, click here, this zoom out button. Yeah, so select that. I can adjust my selection, obviously. Get your whole mix selected where you want to export. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to File, and then Export, and then Multi-Track Mix Down, and Time Selection. So you can see that it's going to select the whole thing. If I were to like just do entire session, that will actually include some of this empty space over here, and I don't want to do that. I just want it to end right where my last song or clip ends here. So we'll click Time Selection. And then come in here to your settings. We can name it here. My dance mix down works for me. I can change where I want to save this by clicking Browse, and the desktop works. Click Save. Change this to MP3 if it's not already selected, because we do like MP3 files because they are a smaller file. It's easier to share it. But if it does get shared too much, again, it loses that sizzle. So just make sure to watch out for that. So MP3, that's fine. This here we do want to change. This allows us to change the quality of that MP3. And I'm just going to go to 320. This is the highest that you can get with an MP3. Some editors only allow you to go to 256. Luckily, Audition is nice and lets us go to 320. It's still a pretty small file, so go ahead and do that. And then we can go ahead and click OK. That's all we need to do. That's going to export our mix down. It's going to take a little bit. And once that is done, I can simply go to my Finder window, navigate to my desktop where I saved it, and there is our mix. And from there, you can get it to your phone or other device by emailing it to yourself or AirDrop or whatever other means you use. So, and that's it. We're done. So just to recap, get your mix sounding how you want. Add an exciter and a limiter to your master track in that order. Select your entire mix here with the selector tool up here. Go ahead and click File, export it with multi-track mix down time selection. Make sure you select MP3, name the mix, choose where you want it to go, and then change the quality to 320, and you're all set. And then get it to your device however you need to. So hopefully this video was helpful. If so, please give the video a like and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions about making mixes or edits for dance, you can contact me directly or head over to dancecuts.com/contact. And just for those curious, here is Dance Cuts, our music editor made for dancers. Dance Cuts automatically adjusts volumes and adds limiters to the songs that are imported, as well as to the overall mix. So you don't have to worry about balancing your mix. You can simply click Export, and Dance Cuts will do everything in the background for you, including automatically saving your mix with the highest quality. On top of that, all of your exported mixes are automatically saved to your online account, so you can easily access them, stream them, or download them to your device. This is much easier than other editors, as Dance Cuts was created for dancers. Dance Cuts is free, so be sure to check that out. You can do that by heading over to dancecuts.com and navigating to the downloads page. We also have loads of tutorials to help you quickly learn Dance Cuts, with more tutorials being made regularly. So be on the lookout for those, and we will see you in the next one.